Hi guys, so I'm going to read Fantastic Four number 6. So have the Fantastic Four at last met their match, when mighty Submariner and evil Doctor Doom team up. Don't miss the diabolical duo join forces.
The time has come, Submariner. Destroy the Fantastic Four.
No matter what powers you both have, we shall defeat you. The Fantastic Four swears it. So yeah, that's the new voice I'm doing for Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, let me know if you guys like that voice. Um, But the Fantastic Four in The Captives the Deadly Duo by Stanley Jack Kirby. It's the Human Torch heading for the Fantastic Four's skyscraper headquarters. The Torch, a living legend, and I thought I'd never see him with my own eyes. We can't be certain, not from this distance. It may be just some natural phenomenon. I seen that natural phenomenon in action before, and his three partners too. It's kind of hard to make up your mind. You see these strange things, hear all those incredible stories. It's mass hysteria, Pete. I could no more believe in the Fantastic Four than I could in flying saucers. The Human Torch, the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Girl, they're all creatures of the Hey, what? Harry, something pushed us off our feet. Something that brushed by us. Something we can't see. Pardon me, gentlemen. I must get by. A voice out of thin air. A girl's voice. Look, materializing before our very eyes. The Invisible Girl. She's one of the Fantastic Four. Imagine her being among us all this time, without our knowing it. It's enough to give one the shivers. First the Human Torch and now her. Something's up for sure. Disturbed by the uncertain mood of the crowd, the distaff member of the Fantastic Four hastens to the great skyscraper which houses their headquarters. The Torch has been scouting for signs of Doctor Doom. Wonder if he's brought back any news. So Doctor Doom was in Fantastic Four number 5. And in a remote corner of the bustling lobby, this express elevator seems to be working, but not for me. I'll never get to deliver my telegram. Are you delivering any messages to the Fantastic Four, son? No, ma'am. Gulp. Then I wouldn't advise waiting for this elevator, unless your belt has a hidden buckle like mine, which throws an invisible beam on the electric eye on that door. The elevator door. It opened, as if by magic. It's really very simple. She's one of the Fantastic Four. Wait, miss, wait, can I have your autograph? Too late. Meanwhile, the passengers of the elevators that ply the shafts of the skyscraper little realize that a thin wall divides them from the car that rises swiftly toward the mystery which lies above the 33rd floor. For it is on the 34th floor that the world of the ordinary vanishes and the well-organized domain of the Fantastic Four begins. Here is the complete base of operations from which the war against the forces that would destroy man's freedom is waged with never-ending vigilance. So the Pogo Orbit plane hangar. I don't know if I think a lot of these are the same, but I'll read them anyway. As number 3, I think, issue number 3, because there was like a scan of the Baxter building in that. So Fantastic Copper hangar, elevator shaft leading to hangars, Fantastic Car hangar, observatory, photo analysis lab, giant map room, conference room information files, projecting room, closed circuit TV control, living quarters, recreation room, gymnasium on the same floor, trophy room and weapon collection, ammo room, chemical laboratory, electronics laboratory, computers, photo analysis lab, hidden elevator, missile monitoring room, missile ready room, long-range passenger missile able to reach any point on Earth in minutes, rocket exhaust, fire travels down these pipes to expend its heat and fire, pits beneath city surface, anti-vibrational wall to absorb shock of missile launching. So yeah, that's a lot of information. Um, Anyway, the Invisible Girl finally emerges in the recreation room. Torch, I was in the crowd that was watching your return. Have you? Nothing to report on Dr. Doom. He sure knows how to cover his tracks.
Sure, who couldn't hide from a hot-headed teenager? I bet I could find him.
Until we know what Dr. Doom is up to, none of us can feel safe. In the meantime, we have a lot of mail to catch up with. Here's another letter from that boy, a little boy who's hospitalized. Don't worry, sis. Whatever he does, we'll be ready for him. In fact, he's at Harmon General Hospital, right across the street. This letter gives his floor and the location of his room. Say, won't he be tickled if I just drop in for a visit, unexpectedly? It'll sure give him something to talk about with his fellow shut-ins. What? I must be seeing things. But no, it's Mr. Fantastic in person. I thought you might like a chat, Tommy. Happily, the youngster bubbles over, throwing many questions at his famous guest. Well, the reason my costume stretches to any length that I do is that it is woven from chemical fibers containing unstable molecules that shift in structure when I effect the change. But the general public is made up of critics as well as friends, and there are challenges as well as questions. And if the thing will meet us on... Oh yeah, this unstable molecules, that's the first mention of that ever, so that's important. But anyway, if the thing will meet us at the corner of Ashby and Main Street, we'll knock that chip off his shoulder and make him like it. Signed, the Yancey Street Gang. I heard from those mealy-mouthed braggarts before. They get their kicks trying to rile me. So that's first mention of the Yancey Street Gang, too. Well, are you going to answer him, thing?
You bet I will. This block is titanium steel, 6 inches thick and the strongest metal known to man. I'll just roll it by hand into a form acceptable for mailing. I wouldn't want the Yancey Gang to think I wasn't neat. Gasp. Here, send this to 'em, and on the day they manage to unroll it, I'll personally congratulate 'em. Woo. Bah, if only I could face an enemy worthy of my strength, a foe like Dr. Doom or Submariner.
I'll pick Dr. Doom for outright villainy. Submariner is hostile because he's hurt and bitter. What's the difference? If there's an ill wind blowing anywhere, one of those two has probably started it. Yes, an ill wind is blowing. It is not yet a cyclone, nor even a harsh gust. As yet it is a gentle zephyr touching the placid waters of the ocean, from which the playful porpoise leap at the blue sky. Look, there's a whole school of porpoise keeping pace with the ship. What a lovely sight. They're like children at play. Children? If the sunlight wasn't known to play tricks with one's vision, I'd swear that was a man among the porpoises. Now, my subjects, the next maneuver. Submariner, so that doesn't use in Fantastic Four number 4. Alas, it is one of those times when vision is accurate. But who could believe the most amazing of sights? Prince Namor, known to all mortals as Submariner. Excellent, well done. Meanwhile, high above this scene of innocent frolic, an evil presence hovers, searching the broad expanse of water with a baleful electronic eye.
Ah, I finally found him. I knew my television scanner would pick him up at low-level focus. Now, Submariner, we have work to do. I'll buzz him at wave height. That'll attract his attention. Well, well, so a surface mortal dares invade the privacy of Prince Namor. Submariners vanish beneath the sea, but this other sub can trail him there too. I'll just surprise that curiosity seeker and give him more than he's bargained for. What? This ought to set him back on his heels? His craft is of strange design. I wonder who he is. I come in peace, Submariner. Our meeting has long been inevitable, and long delayed. Is that so? Come out where I can get a good look at you. So you shall. Behold the face of your new ally, the one who shares your ambitions. the punishment and total defeat of the Fantastic Four, and then of all mankind. That is strong talk, whoever you are. Never fear, I am strong, strong enough to join the powers of science to those of darkness. Show me the puny mortal who does not tremble at the name of Doctor Doom.
So, Fantastic Four. Okay, so this is part 2 when super menaces unite. Eager for a parley, Doctor Doom folds back the wings of his aero sub and noses it into the depths of the sea. A submariner darts through the cold green shadows of his domain. They move across submerged canyons and valleys, over the ruins of a once proud city where a vanished race once lived in harmony, ghost voices that once hailed Submariner as Prince Namor. Submariner finally leads Doctor Doom to his new headquarters, a large domed villa in a field of swaying undersea vegetation. The airlock opens to admit them. Relaxing amid the comfort of Submariner's new home, Doctor Doom reveals his thoughts.
It would appear that you have taken a holiday from your campaign against the surface world. Men no longer speak your name in fear.
Then they are fools. My wrath can easily reawaken their fears.
Ah, the Invisible Girl. So she's the reason for your changed attitude, of course. If you wage war against the Fantastic Four, you must be her enemy too.
Take care. That female is no concern of yours.
I'm making it my concern, Submariner. It must be evident by this time that to defeat the Fantastic Four, it may take a diabolical duo, you and I, striking out for power and revenge. What has happened to your thirst for revenge? Have you forgotten the glistening towers of your once great civilization? The culture and comfort enjoyed by your happy subjects? Where are your people in their proud works? Imagine how they had to flee for their lives before the barbarians from the surface could conduct their underwater H-bomb test in this particular area. Fortunately, you were absent during the destruction, but the ruins testify to what must have happened, and as your vanished subjects, will you ever again find them as you search the endless depths? Imagine your great and proud people struggling for thousands of years, defeating all the terrors of the deep to build a civilization superb and beautiful. Yes, beautiful, and glowing with life, until that last terrifying moment, when that monster of a bomb lodged into the midst of that beauty. Gone. All that glorious history, gone in one brief instant, replaced by an ugly crater on the ocean floor, littered by fused masonry and bitter memories that cry out, "Revenge! Revenge! Revenge upon the surface world which did this in its ignorance. Revenge upon humanity's defenders. A death to the Fantastic Four."
I cannot harm the girl, but I will aid you in defeating the others.
Very well, then. I agree. But before I tell you of my plan, let me demonstrate the power of my magnetic brain, children. I call this cylinder a grabber. At the touch of this control knob, I can launch it at any direction. Observe.
Traveling on its magnetic beam, the grabber swiftly, tirelessly covers vast distances of the undersea kingdom. As if it had a will of its own, the grabber zeroes on the head of a huge pagan idol, mired for centuries in the ooze of the sea bottom. The huge mass begins to stir, trembling in the pull of a titanic unseen force. Slowly it is lifted from the strong grip of its age-old prison. Then, with one sudden frightful yank, the mammoth idol's head breaks free and drifts like a feather on the magnetic current traveled by the grabber. Finally,
there, when I release this knob, my grabber brings back its catch. no matter how heavy or how large. Some catch. That title's head must weigh countless tons.
You mean that little cylinder was able to lift all that?
Magnetic forces are unlimited, and when amplified it has the strength of giants. All that power is locked in this small cylinder. Now I shall dismantle the grabber. You will be able to hide its tiny parts in the hollow of your belt buckle.
Done. I take it that I am to reassemble the grabber at some point in your plan, when you're ready to release its incredible power.
Yes, when you come face to face with our enemies, the Fantastic Four. Now listen closely.
Soon after, above the ocean's surface. Look, below us. Something's being shot out of the water. Holy, Hannah, check our course. We may have drifted into an area where our subs are testing Polaris missiles. Yo, the missile's coming right for us. No time to dodge, it's gonna head on. Wait, that's not a missile. It's... Bah, that's enough horseplay. I mustn't forget my mission. Tell me that what we saw wasn't true. It couldn't have been real. I'm sure not gonna write it in our logbook. Nobody will believe us. Submariner wastes little time. He becomes a meteor, a lightning bolt, a streak across the midday sky, speeding toward the coastline of America. That ferry boat will make a great snapshot, Matilda. Just the kind of memento to remind us of our visit to the big city. Harem? A moment later in the city itself. What's all that commotion? Whoa, look who's coming up the street. Oh my. Fearless, calm, fully aware of his great powers, Submariner confidently makes his way through the uneasy staring crowds. No foolin', it's a Submariner, I tell you. He looks just like he does in the stories I've read. Why is he here? What is he up to? He don't look so tough to me.
Stand aside. I frown upon any interference from mere mortals.
Get him. He acts like he owns this town. The Fantastic Four will take him down a peg. Just wait till they find out he's here. Say, do you think he's come for a showdown? Submariner ignores the varied emotions he stirs among the populace. Even the appearance of the police disturbs him little as he continues along his way. It's Submariner. We can turn him in for creating a disturbance. Easy, don't borrow trouble before it starts. We alert the entire force in case we have to take him. But the tension ever present during the rare appearances of the Sea Lord seems to blanket the city. It seeps into corners and crevices, reaching everywhere, even into the headquarters of the Fantastic Four. Hey, what's glistening behind this shelf of books? Torch, what are you doing? Why are you poking among those books? I saw something hidden behind them. A glossy photograph. I suppose you know the identity of the face in this photo. I do. Now give me that portrait. It belongs to me. So, you've gone soft on the Submariner, our archenemy. Well, I'll tear this into 1,000 pieces before... Hey, Sue, where are you? Turning invisible won't get you this photo. Give me that photograph, you insolent brat. No, I don't. I figured you'd try to sneak up behind me. What's going on here, you two? Nothing much. I'm burning a picture. A photo of the Submariner. You've got no right to do that. That was my property, do you hear? Bah, I knew it. All a gal wants is a good-looking guy. It doesn't matter if he's the most dangerous creep on earth. I think you owe us an explanation, Sue. Oh, how can I explain something I don't understand myself? I know Submariner is hostile to us, but at that same instant. But still, there's something about him, something gentle and
Submariner, how'd you get in here?
Flying through a window is no problem to Prince Namor. Fantastic Four in when friends fall out. Wait, we've got to keep our tempers. Let him speak his piece.
I won't give him the chance. I'll pulverize that human fish into dry dust. Let me at him.
No, Submariner meant us harm, if some mariner meant us harm, he wouldn't have walked in among us this way. The girl is right. My mission is one of peace. Well, I don't believe him. Stand away from him, Sue. I'll see to it that he never doesn't escape us again. Circle the flame. No, no, you can't do this. You must hear him out. Why, he's not even trying to defend himself. He's too angry to listen to reason. You best stay out of the way. I do not fear the torch. Wait! Prince Namor fears nothing on this planet. Let him do his worst. We'll see how brave you are, Mr. Big Talk. I think I'll soften up your steel nerves before I really go to work on you. The Human Torch burns a circle of fire into the floor around Submariner, and when it's completed, just the kind of childish prank I'd expect from you. You won't think so in 1 second. Suddenly the floor gives way beneath Submariner's feet as the flaming circle falls into the room below. Well, you can see I did not fall through. You forgot I have the power to defy gravity. But unlike you, my power does not fade, even as your flame begins to fade now. And indeed, before the Human Torch can act, his hot white flame loses its consistency and begins to cool until... My flame has run its time limit. I'm changing back into human form. I failed. Fate has given you a reprieve, Submariner. Now speak or give battle. I've come to seek your trust. You see, mine is a lonely kingdom, and a lasting friendship may prove of more value than any fleeting taste of revenge. Very impressive, Submariner, only I'm not inclined to shake your hand too readily. How do we know it's not a plot? How do we know you haven't set a trap? Yeah, you better do some fast checking, pal. I'll keep an eye on him. Oh, please listen to him. Can't you see he's sincere? I'm still for checking. Come on, Torch. We can look in every room by closed-circuit television. We can find out soon enough if he's set any traps in here. Projection room all clear. Roof landing strip right corner all clear. I don't get it. We scanned every corner of our base of operations without finding one booby trap. Nothing seems amiss yet. I can't get rid of the feeling that Submariner's been up to no good. Luckily, the working day is over. The rest of the building is empty. We can check that out too. Well, my suspicious friend, does my presence here pass your rigid inspection? I'm not yet satisfied, Submariner. Stay where you are. I'm coming back to ask a few more questions. Well, you'll just have to wait for the time being. I'm on a holiday, and I've decided to take this charming young lady on a tour of the city. Submariner's flippant move suddenly vanishes as a loud tremor shakes the entire building. Crack! Slowly, smoothly, the great skyscraper begins to rise free of its foundation, begins to rise above the now deserted streets. The building! It's rising into the air! We're going higher, faster. This is your doing, Submariner. You can stop this. I can't, you fools. I planted the trap, but it's being triggered by Dr. Doom. Part 4, Trapped. We're now thousands of feet above the city, and going higher. At this rate, we've only minutes left before we reach the upper atmosphere. What is Dr. Doom, to do with this, Submariner? The double-crossing dog is in a rocket plane above, pulling this building into space. But how is he doing it? There's a control panel in his plane, attracting a magnet grabber which I planted in a dark corner of the basement. Then our only hope of ever getting down is to seize control of that plane. The air is getting mighty thin. We'll perish from lack of oxygen before we can take any action. Meanwhile, Dr. Doom draws his victims into the ionosphere and closer to the twilight edge of space. The windows in our portion of the building are strong enough to hold in the air, remaining to us for a short while. Ha! Who can doubt the genius of Dr. Doom now? My plan is working without a hitch. I managed to snare the only beings capable of blocking my ambition to rule the entire world. Submariner never guessed he was included in that group. Now he's as helpless as the rest of them. But in the building caught by the magnetic currents, Our orbit plane. It was toppled when and damaged when the building shifted. Oh, our one sure hope of overtaking Doctor Doom. Gone. We've still got our powers to rely on. But first, let's break out our stock of space helmets and oxygen tanks. Hurry. Poor girl. She almost passed out from lack of air. This will bring her around. Our costumes are made to withstand the extreme conditions of space. The bodies of the Thing and Submariner can also resist these conditions. So, I think it's safe to open this window and make an attempt to reach Doctor Doom. Flame on! My flame. It burned for a moment and suddenly snuffed out. I forgot. There's no oxygen in space to feed it. Without his flame, the torch can't fly. Luckily, my power can work in space. I caught him before he could fall back to Earth. Hey, what's wrong? Now, we've lost our footing. That ain't all we've lost. There's no more gravity. We're weightless. I'm going to make my try for Doctor Doom. You'll have to serve as an anchor, Thing. Okay, stop flapping your lips and move. So far, so good. When I reach the roof, I'll make my leap. Marshalling the full strength of his ability to stretch the pliable structure of his body, Mr. Fantastic leaps across the wide gap of space toward the rocket ship. This isn't as easy as I thought it would be. But I've got to make it. Somehow conditions in space tend to weaken my powers. I'm taxing myself to the limit. I'm almost within reach of Doom's ship. If I can just exert a little more effort. One of the ship's rockets suddenly spouts a short, ineffectual burst of flame, but it is enough to make Mr. Fantastic recoil in pain. Ow! Reed, your hands, what happened up there? Doom must have tracked them by radar and fired a rocket burst. His burns ain't too bad, but he will be out of action for a while. Just our luck. There, you'll be all right now. This parachute webbing will keep you from getting knocked about in the near-zero gravity. Well, that leaves the problem of rescue up to me, and my strength is useless in this situation, except for one thing, Submariner. To finish you off for getting us into this fix. Stay clear of me, you big, ugly lump. Not until I settle with you for good. That'll be the day. The Battle of Titans is cut short by the voice of Doctor Doom. Greetings, my crusading friends. To those of you who are still alive to hear these words, I can tell you that we are near the close of this little journey. But before I part with your delightful company, I shall set your building on the collision course with the sun, which I am certain will receive you warmly, if you will forgive my little jest. I guess that's it. We're done for. No, we're not. That jackal Doctor Doom still has Prince Namor to reckon with. Is there a water storage tank in this building? Yes, it's on this floor, Submariner, but I don't see what good that would do. The words of resignation fall on deaf ears. Led to the compact water tank, Submariner plunges into its depths. This is like more like home. I can feel myself going stronger, doubling my power for the leap into space. I've taken tremendous leaps out of the ocean, further than any porpoise. Why should I not be able to do it now, when I dare not fail? When he is ready. Don't do it, Submariner. I tracked a meteor swarm heading this way. It means certain death. That meteor swarm is what I'm counting on to help me reach Doctor Doom. And now the word is, go! 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 The end of the beginning. It worked. I was able to leap from one passing meteor to the other. Until now. Now for the reckoning. But suddenly at the flip of a control lever from inside the amazing ship, an all-powerful band of magnetism pins Prince Namor to the steel hull of the cabin. Ugh, can't move. Unable to rise, Submariner's powerful fists exert tremendous pressure on the fuselage beneath him. This magnetic force may keep me from getting up, but it can't stop me from going down. The thick metal buckles and groans. until Submariner's arms crash through the ship's interior. When the air rushes out, the hull beneath Submariner collapses and carries him down with it. Now, if I can only break into the pilot's cabin before Dr. Doom makes his next move. I am sure he knows I'm in the ship. Suddenly, 1,000 great hammer blows of electricity slam into the Sea Monarch, hurtling him back into the darkness. Crack. Meanwhile, on the other side of the steel wall, Dr. Doom listens for sounds of movement.
I don't hear a thing. That is the end of the Submariner. His attempt to stop me was the last. Now all I have to do is push this lever and bring contact with the building. Slowly but surely it will spiral into the sun, taking with it the rest of my enemies. Ow! I can't touch anything with the whole cabin is charged with electricity.
And here is the rest of it, full blast. You didn't kill me with that electric charge. Like an electric eel, I absorbed it. I stored it, and now I'm returning it.
I got to get out of here before
Dr. Doom flings open a floor escape hatch. The outrushing air literally explodes away from the ship in the vast, cold reaches of space. His high rate of speed carries him into the course taken by the meteor swarm. Instinctively, he reaches out for support and frantically clutches the speeding meteor. The rocky space wanderer streaks onward, unmindful of its human rider, unmindful of the loneliness of its never-ending journey. For eternity is a long, long time, and Dr. Doom, who has coveted all of the earth, now has all of eternity to scheme in a much larger domain, the universe itself. While back on Earth, the hour is late, the dark streets deserted on a skyscraper row, and the stray individuals who later witnessed the silent return of the Baxter building from the skies write it off as a bad dream, a hallucination resulting in the anxieties that plague our nuclear society. But to the Fantastic Four, the sight of the city is a miracle greater than their incredible experience.
We're home, home.
The Submariner in Dr. Doom's spaceship has guided the building back to its foundation. Thanks to him, we're alive.
How do you think an enemy? Submariner's somewhere above us in that confounded ship, and if I could reach him, I still don't know if I'd shake his hand or try to smash him.
Oh, he isn't our enemy. I just know it. He's so full of pain and bitterness that it blinds his predator instincts. Submariner needs time to heal. At that moment, I found it. I found that grabber gadget just where Submariner said he planted it.
We better remove it. It's dangerous as long as it remains active.
Yeah, it's like living with a live bomb. And soon after, in the building basement, there it is, conceived by Dr. Doom and delivered by a misguided Prince Namor.
You mean that thing? That thing lifted the entire building? It's no bigger than a tin can. Ugh, talk about power. We can't budge this thing.
You forgot that it harnesses the strength of a titanic natural force. Dr. Doom was an evil genius, but a genius nevertheless. What a tragedy that his great mental abilities produced such miracles for sinister purposes. As for Submariner, who knows what his future holds for him. Look out! It's too late to stop it.
The gadget detached itself. It's flying away.
As if possessed by a will of its own, the grabber streaks across the city with the speed of light until it is lost to sight over the ocean. Some time later, in a remote latitude, the cylinder homes in on the spaceship piloted by the Submariner. Then, when it is inside the ship, Prince Namor sends the vehicle into a spin and hurtles from it.
The sea will make a fit resting place for the works of Dr. Doom. They will lie where they can do no further harm. So shall I return to the sea, perhaps some day when I am no longer haunted by bitter memories of my lost people. I may return, but until then this is where I belong, in the sea which is my home.
So that's the end of that comic. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you could like, comment, or subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all, and I'll see you guys later.